What if I told you the real reason you haven't been able to heal has nothing to do with medicine, money, or luck? What if the anxiety that keeps returning, the feeling that money never lasts, and the way happiness always seems to slip through your hands are not signs of failure, but signs that you've been searching for answers in the wrong place? The truth is, the solution you've been waiting for isn't hidden in your future. It's buried in your past, in a wisdom so ancient and so powerful it was locked away for more than 4,000 years. A secret guarded inside the temples of Egypt by Thoth, the scribe of the gods, and for good reason, because this was not ordinary knowledge. It was considered too dangerous for humanity to handle until the right time. What I'm about to share with you is a mantra, but not like the mantras you've heard before. This isn't a suggestion. It isn't a prayer. It isn't even a request. It's a direct command. A command powerful enough to reprogram your very cells, to tell your body to return to its natural, original state of perfection. And when it's done correctly, the results are so fast and so visible that the people around you will call it a miracle. But here's the part almost no one tells you. Repeating the words alone is not enough. There's a missing key, a hidden step that almost everyone overlooks. And that's why 99% of attempts at transformation fail. But stay with me until the end, because I'm going to give you not just the words, but the exact method to activate them in your life starting today. If you feel in your heart that your time has come, declare it now in the comments. My awakening is inevitable. For countless generations, this mantra was protected by secret orders and silent guardians. They dedicated their lives to keeping it hidden, not because they were selfish, but because they understood its power. They knew that giving this energy to the world too soon, before humanity was ready, would be like handing a weapon of unimaginable power to a child. Only those who had begun their inner journey, those who felt the call for something greater, and those willing to release their old identities could use it safely. And the fact that you are here now is not an accident. It's proof that your moment has come. The veils that once separated the seen world from the unseen are growing thinner every day. Consciousness is shifting across the planet. Souls who were once asleep are waking up, restless, hungry for something they can't yet explain. And it is for these souls, for you, that this secret is now being revealed. But know this, it is not being revealed as a free gift. It is a responsibility, because this mantra does not work on the surface level of your reality. Forget everything you've been taught about chasing happiness, fighting illness, or struggling with money. Those are only symptoms, echoes of a much deeper cause. Thoth's knowledge bypasses the surface and goes directly to the source, the energetic code that projects your entire world. Imagine life as a computer program. Most people spend their whole lives fixing bugs on the screen. This mantra allows you to access the source code itself. Every thought you think, every emotion you feel, every belief you hold sends out a frequency. Together, they create your personal field, your energetic signature that determines everything you attract and experience. Thoth's mantra is like a master frequency. When you bring it into your field, it begins forcing all the other frequencies around you to align with it. If your heart is open and your intention is pure, your body, your mind, and your entire being will harmonize with this vibration. Healing becomes spontaneous. Transformation happens naturally. But here is the danger. The same danger the ancients feared. What happens if, deep down, you don't believe you deserve healing? What happens if part of you is still holding on to pain, to scarcity, to suffering? Then, when the frequency of the mantra meets those hidden blocks, it creates a violent clash. The vibration of health collides with the vibration of illness. The frequency of abundance smashes into the frequency of lack. That internal conflict can spill out into your life as chaos. This is why the most important requirement is not perfection, but honesty. You don't need to be flawless. You don't need to be a saint, but you do need to be willing to let go of your victim identity, to release the stories you've been telling yourself about why life is the way it is. If you use this mantra expecting it to fix your problems while you stay the same inside, the energy will not cooperate. It will amplify the shadows you've been hiding and force you to face them, because this mantra is a light, and light does not only heal, it exposes. Sometimes it burns before it soothes. Think of your body, 37 trillion cells, each one like a tiny instrument in an orchestra. For years, they've been playing the same tired tune of stress, fear, and limitation, conducted by your old, conditioned mind. But when you speak this mantra with true awareness, you step into the role of a new conductor. You bring in a new melody, a divine score, and your cells, desperate for harmony, begin to play in unison again. This isn't just a metaphor. It is a real biological process. Your DNA recalibrates, your body reorganizes, your energy field shifts. But there is a catch. Words alone are not enough. Your body has to be prepared to handle this level of power. The ancient priests knew it. The Taoist masters knew it too. They understood that the human body was designed to be a perfect channel for cosmic energy. But in most people, the circuit is broken, and the missing piece, the piece almost no one talks about, is your tongue. Two great rivers of energy flow through your body. One moves upward along the front. The other moves downward along the back. They should connect to form a continuous loop of life force. But in most people, the current breaks. The energy flowing up the front stops at your jaw. The energy flowing down the back ends at the roof of your mouth. The loop is incomplete. Energy leaks. The ancient solution is so simple, it almost sounds too easy. Place the tip of your tongue on the roof of your mouth, just behind your front teeth. In that instant, the circuit closes. The energy that was leaking begins to loop. What was once a trickle becomes a torrent. You don't generate more energy. You simply stop wasting it. This was known as the celestial tongue position. The priests understood the tongue isn't only for speech or taste. It is the main switch of your body's electrical system. When the switch is on, your focus sharpens, your mind calms, and your body becomes deeply receptive. It is like rewiring the house before turning on the electricity. And when you activate this circuit and then speak the mantra, something extraordinary happens. Your words are no longer just sounds. They are carried by energy, instantly delivered through every meridian of your body. Every one of your trillions of cells receives the message directly. Your consciousness and your biology finally speak in perfect harmony. This is the secret that empowers the mantra. It is both spiritual technology and biological science fused together. And now, you are ready to hear the first of the three keys. The first declaration, the one that opens the gates of the universe in your favor. It is only 5 words, yet it carries a resonance that echoes across time and space. I have always been blessed. At first, your logical mind may try to dismiss this, but this is not positive thinking. You are not trying to convince yourself of something. You are declaring a fundamental truth that your soul has always known, even if your mind has forgotten. When you say these words, with your tongue on the roof of your mouth, with your voice steady, with conviction as though you are remembering who you really are, you send a shockwave through the fabric of reality. You are not asking to be blessed. You are aligning yourself with blessing. You are not a beggar hoping for scraps. You are a prince returning to your castle, claiming what has always been yours by birthright. The universe does not respond to begging. It responds to recognition. And when you declare, I have always been blessed, you tune yourself to the timeline where blessings already exist as your reality. You're not creating something new. You're choosing which version of reality to live in. And immediately, the universe begins to rearrange itself. At first, it appears in small ways. A parking space opens at just the right moment. An old problem suddenly finds a solution. An unexpected call arrives from someone who can help. These are not coincidences. They are signs. Signs that the universe has heard your declaration and is now moving in your favor. This is the first key, the beginning of alignment. The moment you stop pleading with life and start commanding your field. And once you master this, the second and third declarations will take you even deeper, unlocking new layers of transformation, new portals of power, and new realities waiting for you to step into them. But everything begins here, with honesty, with preparation, with the willingness to finally remember the truth. I have always been blessed. When you stop fighting against the current of life and begin flowing with it, the entire rhythm of your reality shifts. What once seemed like rare coincidences now become constant synchronicities, weaving through your days as signs that the universe is speaking directly to you. They become the new normal, not because life suddenly changed outside of you, but because something profound changed within you. The truth is, this transformation doesn't come from simply repeating affirmations like a machine. It doesn't come from words spoken without spirit. It comes from the energy you give to the words, the deep emotion you attach to them, the vibration you allow them to carry through every fiber of your being. When you say words with no feeling, they are empty shells. They may leave your lips, but they hold no power. But when you declare them from a place of true emotion, when you feel the truth of those words moving through every cell of your body, they become alive. They become charged, electric, creative. They don't just echo in your mind. They reverberate through every layer of existence. They ripple into the unseen dimensions, shifting the invisible threads that weave together your life. This is how a phrase becomes more than sound. This is how it becomes a decree that rewrites reality itself. Think of a moment in your life when you felt true gratitude, a moment where you didn't have to force the feeling because it overflowed naturally. Maybe it was a time you felt safe after fear, or loved after loneliness, or deeply blessed by something you knew you could never take for granted. Let that memory rise up. Let your body remember it. Let your heart swell with it. Let your cells feel it again. When you hold that state and then speak your declaration, it is no longer empty words. It is creation in motion. Emotion is the current that powers thought. Without it, the thought flickers and dies. With it, the thought becomes a living force that writes a new script for your life in real time. The first declaration is what ignites the journey. It is the spark that opens the first great portal. It shifts your position from seeker to receiver, from someone reaching outward to someone opening inward. You stop struggling to catch what always seemed out of reach, and you begin receiving from the flow that has always surrounded you. You become a vessel of divine grace, and the universe begins to move through you, not against you. But this is only the first step. Opening yourself as a channel is the beginning for blessings to take form in the material world, as money in your hands, as opportunities before your eyes, as relationships that nurture you. You must move further. You must open the second portal. The second portal is unlocked with the phrase, I have always been loved. These words are not about human love, the kind we are taught in childhood and reinforced through culture. The love that comes with conditions, expectations, and exchanges. This is not the fragile, transactional love of human relationships. This is about unconditional love, the fundamental energy that birthed the cosmos and sustains it still. It is the creative force that flows through stars, galaxies, rivers, and through the very breath in your lungs. The ancients had a name for it. They called it love. Everything you see and everything unseen, from the most distant galaxy to the smallest particle, from the furniture around you to the body you inhabit, is woven from this one substance. And when you understand this, you begin to see money, resources, and opportunities differently. They are not separate from love. They are forms that love takes in order to circulate. Every transaction, at its root, is love moving. When you offer your gift, your work, your service, you are offering love in action. When you receive payment, you are receiving love in material form. Both are expressions of the same universal current. When you declare, "I have always been loved," with deep conviction, you align yourself with this truth. You stop seeing yourself as someone who needs to be loved or who lacks resources, and you awaken to the reality that you are already the source from which love and abundance flow. In that moment, your energy field shifts from lack to fullness, from longing to overflowing. And as your frequency changes, the world around you reorganizes to match it. You become magnetic. People who once ignored you suddenly want to collaborate with you. Opportunities that seemed impossible now present themselves with ease. Debts dissolve in ways that logic cannot explain. Doors that were locked now swing open without effort. You no longer need to chase money or love, because both come naturally as you tend the soil of your inner garden. The butterflies of abundance come to you because you cultivated the flowers of self-recognition and service. The secret is to detach your sense of being loved from needing it from another person. You do not require another's approval to feel whole. You do not need another's affection to feel complete. The very intelligence that dreamed you into existence is pure love. You are an expression of it. To feel loved is not to wait for someone else to prove it to you. It is to awaken to the fact that love is the fabric of your being. It is who you are, not what you earn. When you live from this place, love becomes an internal state, a conscious choice, a constant reality. And in the paradox of spiritual law, once you no longer need love from others to feel loved, their love flows to you with ease. The admiration, the relationships, the recognition arrive not because you seek them, but because they are drawn to the radiance of your self-sufficient light. This is what the second declaration does. It creates the bridge between the invisible and the visible, between spirit and matter. The blessings you accessed with the first portal now find a clear path to manifest in your physical reality as health, wealth, harmony, and connection. You are no longer in conflict with the laws of abundance. You are aligned with them. You live in resonance with the universal economy of love. But to sustain this new reality, to hold this frequency not just in moments, but in your entire life, you must open the third portal. This is the most intimate of all, because it is directed not outward to the cosmos, nor into the flow of abundance, but inward, deeply, directly, to your own body. The third declaration is, "I have always been happy." This is not about pretending. It is not about forcing yourself to smile or denying your pain. It is a command, a sovereign decree you speak as the ruler of your inner kingdom. You are addressing the vast community of 37 trillion living cells within you, each one conscious in its own way, each one waiting for your instruction. For years, many of these cells have been under the rule of stress, fear, and survival. They have lived in the constant storm of cortisol, adrenaline, and stress chemicals. They have been inflamed, overworked, and prematurely aged. They have forgotten their original harmony. They have forgotten what it means to thrive. When you say, "I have always been happy," you issue a decree that the war is over. You announce to every cell that the state of emergency has ended. You authorize them to return to their natural state of balance and joy. You remind them of their original function, which is to live in flow, to regenerate, to radiate vitality. Happiness in its truest form is not an emotion that comes and goes. It is the state of optimized living, of the body in harmony with itself, of energy flowing without resistance. This command spreads instantly through your nervous system, carried by the energy circuit already activated by your earlier declarations. It rushes through you like a wave of liberation. The response is immediate. Your mitochondria, the powerhouses of your cells, begin producing energy at higher levels, flooding your body with life force you may not have felt since childhood. You feel lighter, clearer, stronger. Even your genes respond. Modern science shows that genes are not your destiny. They are switches, capable of being turned on and off by thought, environment, and emotion. When you speak this command from a place of authority, you activate genes of longevity, regeneration, and healing. You silence those tied to decay, disease, and premature aging. Trauma stored at the cellular level begins to lose its grip as the higher frequency of joy displaces the old frequency of pain. Your immune system, once confused and overloaded, regains clarity and balance. It begins operating as it was designed, to protect, to heal, to sustain. Aging slows, because energy once spent on surviving is now freed for thriving. With this final declaration, you complete the circuit. You have opened the cosmic portal by flowing with gratitude. You have opened the portal of abundance by recognizing yourself as eternally loved. And you have opened the portal of regeneration by commanding your cells to return to happiness. Together, these three keys align your spirit, your life, and your body with the highest order of the universe. You are no longer chasing after blessings. They flow to you. You are no longer seeking proof of love. You embody it. You are no longer surviving under pressure. You are living in the original state of joy. And from this alignment, everything changes. Your presence carries a different vibration. The world around you responds to your frequency. People feel drawn to your energy without knowing why. Opportunities gravitate toward you. Your body heals, renews, and strengthens. The script of your life shifts, not by accident, but by design. You are no longer a seeker wandering the currents of life. You are a creator flowing with them, in harmony with the truth you have always been. Grateful, loved, and happy. They are using this energy to thrive, to grow, and to multiply perfectly, while at the same time you are being renewed from the inside out. The true miracle is not hidden in one phrase alone, but in the way all of them are woven together. These are not three separate mantras standing apart, but three movements of a single symphony of transformation. Each one prepares the ground for the next, creating a living chain of energy that works at once on the spiritual, the emotional, the mental, and the physical levels. When you understand this, you see that the mantras are not isolated words, but parts of one whole force. Alone, a single phrase may shake, But together, all three build a strong foundation, like three pillars holding up the temple of your new reality. The power does not lie in their separation, but in their harmony, their order, and their shared intention. This is what changes three simple sentences into a formula of alchemy, capable of reshaping your entire existence. This is what divides the casual seeker from the true master, the one who merely recites from the one who brings miracles into their life. The process flows from the most subtle realms into the most solid and physical. It begins with the phrase, "I have always been blessed." This is the tuning stage. With it, you lift yourself beyond the small limits of your ego and step into your divine identity. It is like climbing a high mountain, where suddenly the whole horizon is visible. You declare yourself open to the blessings of the universe, to the grace that has always been yours, but was blocked by your old vibration. Once this channel is open, you move to the second phrase, "I have always been loved." This is the moment of materialization. The energy that was high and unseen now begins to take form. This phrase draws the cosmic power into the physical world. It makes your energy field magnetic, pulling toward you the opportunities, relationships, resources, and experiences that match this truth. It is the moment when spirit becomes visible, when invisible prayer becomes tangible bread on the table. And then you anchor it all with the third phrase, "I have always been happy." This is embodiment. It roots the transformation into your body, making sure your new reality is not only outside but within. Your very cells reprogram themselves to hold the higher vibration. And what shows up is health, vitality, endless energy, and joy that does not depend on anything external. The temple is no longer just built. It is alive and filled. When these three are spoken in sequence with full intention, a vortex of power is created. It is a divine triad that works at all levels of your being at once. Your spirit, your mind, your emotions, and your body fall into alignment with your highest truth. Reality itself begins to reshape to match your new vibration. What once would have required years of effort now begins to appear in weeks or even days. But even this complete formula has a final secret. The catalyst, Thoth, in his wisdom, knew that the human mind is guarded and skeptical. The conscious mind questions, doubts, remembers the failures of the past. It acts as a watchman at the gate of your inner castle. To pass it, you must find the hidden doorway where the barriers between the conscious and the subconscious dissolve. This doorway is not something strange or unreachable. You have known it before. It opens through the memory of pure, overwhelming happiness, not just ordinary joy, but that single moment of fullness when time stopped. Perhaps it was in childhood, perhaps in love, perhaps in a deep moment of union with nature, when there was no past, no future, only the eternal now. When your heart seemed ready to burst with joy, that memory is the key. When you do not simply recall it, but relive it, feeling it as though it is happening again, your body responds exactly as it did then. Your brain produces the same chemicals, and your heart begins to beat in a rhythm of coherence. Science now shows that in this state your heart creates an electromagnetic field thousands of times stronger than the one created by the brain. This field of coherence is the amplifier, the most fertile ground for planting the seeds of your new reality. In this state, when your heart and mind are fully aligned, you must speak the mantra. Each word is carried by the power of that field, entering directly into your subconscious and into every cell without resistance. The words are no longer just sounds, but truth written into your DNA. The subconscious does not resist. It accepts whatever is given with strong emotion. And when the mantra is joined with pure happiness, you are performing the deepest reprogramming possible. The new command enters your system so strongly that it cannot be denied. This is what multiplies the power of the mantra 1,000 times. It is the difference between whispering to the wind and speaking with thunder. Yet even this thunder can fade if it is not repeated. For old patterns are deeply rooted. The mind clings to its old paths. That is why there is a sacred protocol. The 21-day ritual of transformation. Mastery does not come through a single act, but through steady repetition. A single revelation can open a door, but only daily practice walks you through. The ancients knew it, and modern science confirms it. About 21 days are required to form new neural connections strong enough to replace the old ones. These 3 weeks are not mystical numbers, but cycles of biological reprogramming. In that time, you are literally teaching your brain to run on a new default frequency. The ritual is simple, but it asks for devotion. Each morning, before your mind is invaded by distractions, you set aside a sacred moment. Sit quietly, close your eyes, place your tongue against the roof of your mouth. Enter the memory of your happiest moment. Do not rush. Let the joy fill your heart until it beats in coherence. Only then begin to chant the 3 phrases slowly, with intention. But here lies the secret. Do not repeat them as lifeless tasks. Each day, speak them as though the universe hears them for the first time. Feel the wonder of realizing you have always been blessed. Feel the relief of discovering you have always been loved. Feel the joy of remembering you have always been happy. This freshness is what keeps the practice alive and powerful. During these 21 days, old energies may rise. Past situations may resurface. People you thought were gone may reappear. Do not see this as failure. It is proof the ritual is working. Old energy must surface to be released. Stay steady. Observe without reaction. Each time you choose your new frequency instead of falling back into the old, you strengthen the new pathways. Slowly, the practice that first demanded effort becomes effortless. The new frequency becomes natural. You no longer do the ritual. You have become the ritual. By the end of the journey, you will not emerge as a better version of who you were. You will be someone new. The person who began with doubt and fear will no longer exist. Your energy will have permanently shifted. Your vibration will be higher. Your connection with the universe will be clear and unbroken. This is not imagination. It can be measured. Tools that measure energy fields would show your aura brighter and more unified. Brain scans would show harmony. Your heart rhythm would reveal greater resilience. You would literally be a more coherent human being. And this transformation will not remain inside you alone. It will flow outward. Your cells will broadcast this new vibration, creating a field that touches all around you. You will act as a tuning fork, silently raising others into harmony. People will feel lighter and calmer near you without knowing why. Animals will be drawn to you. Plants will thrive in your presence. Conflicts will dissolve more easily when you are there, not because of what you do, but because of who you have become. Your very presence becomes medicine, a harmonizing force in the world. If you have reached this point, declare it openly. My healing power has been activated. Let it be known you have followed the revelation to its end. And if you wish to support this work further, you can share, contribute, or simply spread the message. Even your attention and presence already help. Share this with one who needs it, and take the next step by joining me in the continuation of this journey, for it is only the beginning of the reality now unfolding through you.